So there's a story about a prospective monk who had a dilemma and went to go see Master Dogen to ask him about this dilemma. And the dilemma was that the monk had two elderly parents, both fairly ill, and he was the only son. And he wanted to join the monastery and become a monk, which would mean participating in the Shukkei Tokudo ceremony, the leaving home ceremony, and literally leaving home, leaving his elderly sick parents to fend for themselves, which was something they were not going to be able to do. So the monk asked Dogen, "What should I do?" And Dogen's answer was something like, "This is a very difficult dilemma. I think it would be very, very hard for you to resolve this. But I think if it's important enough to you, you'll find a way." And it's sort of a satisfying and unsatisfying answer. It's empowering. And also, Dogen doesn't say, "This is what you ought to do." It's a respectful answer in the sense that Dogen has faith that this young person in front of him is going to be able to figure out the path forward with reality as things unfold. We all face dilemmas. Some are big and some are small. Some show up in the middle of routine. We kind of wake up and catch ourselves doing the same thing day in and day out. We wonder, why am I doing this? Should I be doing this? Is the right way to do things? Where am I going? And sometimes dilemmas are bigger. There's a crisis and we think, should I stay or should I go? Should I take this option or that option? What should I do? Or there's something we know is important to do and it's hard to figure out how to do it. So what do we do? Well, our minds will often try to help us in these situations by problem solving and developing pro and con lists and trying to logic our way through it. And there's a limit to how useful that is. I'm certain you've been in these situations before. And it gets really complicated really fast, and it can feel even more desperate. We need to figure out what to do, and we can't. Sometimes the dilemma is it's very clear what we need to do, and we really don't want to do it. Or we really, really want to do something, but we can't figure out what to do. A few weeks ago, I was walking, as I like to do in the early morning, and I had a dilemma on my mind, kept coming back. And I approached this corner that I usually go by in my morning walk. And there was a full moon out in the morning. And on this corner, there's an intersection. And I must have noticed it before, but I noticed it this time. It might have been because the moon was so bright. The street sign. And the street sign at the intersection had 4 different placards, and in every direction, there were 2 roads, but in every direction, each direction had a different name to the road. And I laughed because I saw this full moon, and then 2 roads, and then 4 names for the roads, and I thought, that's interesting. What a dilemma. How would I even explain to somebody like what road I was on or what was happening? And then I saw the moon and it was like, oh, well, there's the moon. And afterwards, I got home. I've been playing around with haiku, and I wrote this verse. Dark intersection, 2 roads, 4 names. Which way? Easy. Just walk toward the moon.